Thank you, Cashley, for answering those questions about your experience with Scrum and sprint reviews. And you said yes to most questions, 20 plus years in, and we used straight Kanban previously, which was the more predictable and efficient. Less meetings, more work completed, happier customers, and it cut off here, but you said overall more agile. You bring up some good points here, and that is honestly whatever works for your customers and your team. My philosophy is that I'm not pro Kanban, I'm not pro Scrum, I am pro getting a product or service out the door that people want and need. And Scrum and Kanban are two mediums to facilitate that. So ultimately, I don't care what a team or company chooses as long as it's working. I also believe that whatever tool is used, to use it well. In my environment, we do practice Scrum, 2-week sprints, and we do have sprint reviews. And in my original video that you commented on, I was giving an example of if you're gonna have a sprint review, this is what it looks like to be done well. Regarding the prep for the sprint review, that's really up to the teams. I have worked within the same product line having a combined sprint review with multiple teams, and some teams chose to meet ahead of time to do a prep, and some teams chose not to. I will say the preparation does help. It just doesn't have to be long. And it also doesn't have to be live. Some teams choose to do preparation asynchronously. And whoever is facilitating the sprint review should be doing some preparation, even if it's just to figure out who is going to be presenting and try to figure out what order to be able to at least give a somewhat of an itinerary to the sprint review attendees. As a human, I'm also not a just wing it type of person. So any meeting that I'm involved with, there's going to be some kind of order that's arranged ahead of time. In my environment, there's 6 or 7 teams with 30 plus people on the call, oft sometimes 40 or 50, and our stakeholders do not appreciate when we just wing it. And we also have to remember that a sprint review is a presentation, and some people get really nervous, so they actually appreciate the dedicated time on the calendar to prepare. Which is also an interesting note. We have a placeholder on the calendar for the sprint review prep. Sometimes we don't use it at all, but even when we do, it's only the people who need to attend it.